When you think about immigration, what comes to mind? Peace, happiness, new beginnings, the American dream? I know I thought so, but as it turns out, it isn't always as easy as it's made out to be. The Government of Canada estimates that per year, Canada accepts an average of 300,000 foreign immigrants into the country, making it one of the most immigrated to countries on the planet. Although Canada ranks 7th best for immigrant quality of life, immigrants to the country still face the vast challenges of underemployment due to the absence of recognition for many foreign credentials and worker experiences. Between the early 70s and early 80s, it was reported that of these immigrants, well over 45,000 had arrived from Malta. And more recent studies suggest that over 50% of that 45,000 resided in Toronto and its surrounding areas. To put that number in perspective, the population of Malta in the early 1980s counted a wildly low 330,000 people. In an attempt to gain a better understanding of what it was like to undergo this immigrant heyday, as well as uncover the reasons why so many Maltese immigrants chose to come to Canada, I sat down with my 82-year-old grandmother, who immigrated from Malta to Canada over 50 years ago. This is her story. This is the tale of two lives.
My name is Josephine Grima. I born in Malta, May 31st, 39.
At first glance, Malta may not seem like anything more than a tiny country with a flourishing salt and fishing industry. But what many fail to realize is Malta's vital role in Britain's Second World War victory. Due to its strategic location in the center of the Mediterranean Sea, Malta acted as a checkpoint in halting supply lines en route to Libya and replenishing British armies based out of Egypt. In June 1940, shortly after my grandmother's first birthday, Malta and its harbors fell victim to the wrath of Mussolini's airstrikers. Mussolini and Hitler both felt as though Malta's uber-short distance from Sicily would disrupt their water convoys and delivery routes. For the following 2 years, Malta underwent bombings from both the Italian Air Force and the Luftwaffe, making Malta the most heavily bombed country in war history, recording over 150 days under attack and suffering over 6,500 tons of bombs. The war left Malta devastated, leading the country to struggle with high numbers of food shortages and poverty. This, all in the first 2 years of my grandmother's life.
Well, I didn't understand it's a war, so all I know, when we heard the bombs, and the noise, they tell us, let's go at the grandfather farm, They tell us to go. My mother used to go, let's go down, blum, 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 or you hear blum, blum. You think the ceiling is falling or something, A soldier that time, he used to bring us the leftovers food from the English people. And we used to eat like a very dry bread. Was good. We enjoyed the food. They used to send us very good, the leftovers. They can give them. And that's how we raised, We had no choice, When I was 4 years, or 5 years, I guess, started the school, which I never liked. The math was hard for me, and so I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go anymore to school when I was 14. So anyway, then I quit school when I was 14, because that time you have to be at least 14 to leave the school, which I did, and I start working. First I was babysitting every weekend, then I start working steady, cleaning the houses, which my mother used to take all my money. Yeah, I used to work every day. So my mother was very bad. She used to spank us all the time. Once I didn't like the chicken because she used to clean them and kill them and twist the neck and I knew I never could eat a chicken. And so she spanked me on my face, and my nose was bleeding hard. And she said, if somebody come in, tell them that you fell and hit it with the doorstep. But anyway, nobody came in. And the blood never stopped. He kept, My sisters couldn't do nothing. They were scared. They were scared too. When I was working, I finish work, I go for a walk before I go home. And my mother always behind my back there, and friends, they used to tell me, your mother is coming, your mother is coming. I used to hide. And every time I have a boyfriend, she go check on him. If she don't like him, if she don't like his family, she never let me talk to him anymore. My mother was so bad on me. She was bad. So that's the reason I came to Canada. I couldn't take it anymore. I was old enough to leave. Yeah, when I came to Canada, I lived with my sister for a while. We used to go dancing, me and my friends, and I met my husband there. He used to live in somebody else's house, he was room, whatever. And then because they were Maltese and this, we used to meet at the dance. We used to go every Saturday, the Maltese dance. They offered me him and his friend to give me a ride, which I was scared, and they took me downtown. So, and we went for a drink downtown. Then they took me home, and he never let me go. He always on my back. And I used to go out with him, I don't know how, I forget now, but we end up to get married, We rent an apartment, we used to live in an apartment, then we bought a house. I was pregnant with my old son, which now he's about 52, and then I had my daughter, and here I am. Started $1 an hour because when I came to Canada, my sister, she found me the job right away, because I had to pay her. Dominion gasket. And it was okay. I was on the line, on the line. You grab the thing, and you check them and let them go. So I was okay there, But then, okay, they lay me off. I find another job. I went to Rotor Electric in Rexdale, then laid us off too after a while. Then I was working at Cougar. We make carports. I went everywhere. Viceroy, which is in Toronto. Then I got married anyway. And I work at Roundtree's, Roundtree Chocolate, cleaning. He had a catering truck. Before we got married, he had a good job. He used to work Canada Packers. That time was a big thing, you work at Canada Packers. But then they lay him off, and that's it. He came with no job, and I was working at Roundtree's. Then I got pregnant with my son, and I stayed a little longer. Then I take the time off because the baby was coming, like I was almost at the end, But I work nights from 11 till about 4 in the morning, nights, make sandwiches, because my husband used to work with a truck, catering truck, and where he buy the food from, they needed me to help them.
What happened with the coffee truck?
Well, he went bankrupt. And You know, we came with nothing. We moved in different house, and there was this guy, and he always invited my husband for a drink, and then my husband started to get an alcoholic, and we used to fight all the time. So then, anyway, we had to sell the house for a reason, and he didn't want to sell it, and he was mad at me and my agent, but he was drunk, sleeping in the basement. And so I let him, before I went to sleep, I let him a paper to sign. And in the morning, he wake up and he was mad at me. You make me sign because I was drunk. He was drunk, so he signed the paper. Because he didn't want to sign, he didn't want to sell the house. If I didn't sell the house, I don't have a house today. I lose everything.
What fascinates me most about my grandmother is that she never seemed to let go of the deep-seated commitment she had to her family. Through all the struggle, she always made sure that there was food on the table and love to be given. What may seem like the result of her own childhood struggles could very well be a testament to what a strong, independent woman she was, and her story inspired me. It inspired me enough to make this documentary about her life, and she deserves nothing less than to be praised for the long nights working in factories and longer days taking care of her husband and kids. As for my grandfather, despite his struggles with alcohol, he remains one of my biggest role models. A man of positivity, not once did he fail to bring a smile upon one's face, nor would he ever deny lending a helping hand to a neighbor in need. Tony Grima was one of the kindest, most generous people I have ever met, and I'm proud to call him my grandfather. From the day he got sick in 2009 until his untimely passing in 2016, he left the bottle a thing of his past, allowing his true colors to shine brighter than they ever had before. It isn't easy being an immigrant to a new country, but as my grandmother has proven, with a commitment to lead the life you've always wanted, anything is possible. And with that, my friends, I thank you for watching. This has been The Tale of Two Lives.